Hello, everyone. This is Joel from kidneyforjoel.com. And today is March 4th, 2018. And it's day 4 of the National Kidney Month celebration. And I'm calling my daily video blog streams, live video blog streams, Journey with Joel, as I take you on a journey through my history of kidney and my search for a living kidney donor, as well as my quest to stay alive and energetic and high-spirited as I wait for my perfect match to show up. And I'm going to answer actually questions about that because I have some friends who thought that I've already found my match, and I have not. Anyways, so today is Sunday, and as we prepare for the week, I'd like to again give you a final share of my thoughts on the book, The One Thing. And that is the one thing that that is being espoused on the book, and that is to do one thing once a week that will make a difference and make everything else easier, or you can eliminate everything else by doing this one thing. And one of them is planning for the week, which I normally do, and have been doing this for the last, 20-something years, almost 3 decades now, ever since I read the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Instead of planning for the day, you actually plan for the week, and then each day you plan for the day. So you take on the big rocks in your life, in your job, in your health, so that you take care, when you take care of the big rocks, the priorities that's in line with your purpose, everything becomes much more manageable, and you become much more productive. So that's one thing. I also want to share with you my day, and that is, it's been a very relaxing and yet a very productive day in my experience. The first thing we did this morning when we woke up, me and my son, was to really take care of this challenge I've had for the past 4 weeks, where there was some plumbing problem in my kitchen sink, and the lady who cleaned my house yesterday, Liz, happened to be married to a handyman, Jeff, who, took care of my problems today, from my kitchen sink blockage to my bathroom downstairs to my dryer. So that's, oh gosh, what a relief that was. So, and then I planned last night to go bowling with my son and his friend Scotty, next door neighbor. So we did that in the afternoon after Jeff was done with all the things that he needed to do in my house, and it was such a joyful, happy day, because I my Anton and Scott really enjoyed bowling, and then we went to this arcade, and it's a brand new building with the state of the art movies and seats, with a bowling alley and then an arcade inside. It's a wonderful place. especially for kids their age. And I remembered my joy and bliss when I was about 10, 11, 12 years old, growing up in Manila, where the advent of video games started back then. This was like late 70s, early 80s, and man, the arcade is actually within the block of our house in Manila, and oh, I enjoyed it so much. I mean, I spent every peso I had from my allowance in that in the video arcade. But I still did well in school. Even though I spent. So I can really relate to Anton being, doing well academically, and still once he's done with his homework, after he gets home and he's done with his reading, he plays pretty much the rest of the night, and then most weekend playing video games. But this time it was different because we did something outside of the house, and we had a blast. I just had a blast vicariously experiencing what they're going through and taking pictures. Again, reminded me of my younger days. Although when I was grew up in Leyte, when I was much younger, between I could remember, I was about 5, 6, 7, growing up in a very remote town in the Philippines. There was no electricity. In fact, we are probably one of 3 houses in that town that had a generator and had color TV. And I remember, playing with my playmates. Every time there's a half moon or full moon, and we would play. We call it buwan buwan, which is buwan means moon, and it's I can't explain really how the game. It's like playing tag, but the lines are drawn by water, and you go to the. I don't remember it now, but I just remember how fun it was. And then this was late. This was mid-70s, because I was born in '67, so I was about 6 years old in 1973, 74, 75. So 6, 7, 8. I I played primitive games like we call it patentero. We call it like playing with cans, and we played with like fake phones, can phones. And then I remember one of my favorite games was, having spiders, big old spiders, and have a fight between 2 spiders. It was crazy, And I remember when my teacher killed my spiders in front of the class, and I've always wondered how she found out I was like collecting spiders. And then later on, my mom eventually confessed to me that my father talked to the teacher, who told her to kill all the spiders so I won't be distracted from my studies. It was, it was such a fun time. So even though I just went through a very, traumatic, near-death experience with my chronic kidney disease, and I had to take medications and all that, I really wasn't aware of my chronic kidney disease happening, insidiously, getting worse and worse every day, very, very little percentage. because I thought, I was just like a normal boy. So at age 9, almost 9, we, I was transferred to the city, the Manila, where I grew up in this house, 1 block away from the school, and and all we had there were the 7 of us kids, and my father and mother were working in Leyte, which is, a long trip away from Manila. It's south of Manila, and if you had to take a plane, it'll be about a 2-hour flight, and then at the time about a 3 to 4 hour drive to the town from the airport. Now the roads are better, so you can actually go there. And I remember we would take a boat, a big ship, not as big as a cruise ship, but a passenger ship, where we would go. It will take like 3 days to travel from Leyte to Manila, and I would do that every other summer at that time, until finally at age 8 I was transferred to Manila to go to the University of Santo Tomas for my schooling. So that's the part of my kidney journey that I wasn't really aware that there was something inside me that's eating me up, slowly killing my kidneys, because I thought I was just a normal kid, because I had no symptoms really from age 8 till about 35. And looking back now, there were signs along the way that pointed to my kidney disease, which again is called IgA nephropathy, which is an autoimmune kidney disease. It's not really certain that it's necessarily genetic. It could be from the environment. In my case, I think it was environmental. I don't think it was genetic. I'm not sure. But both families, my father and mother's side, I don't remember anybody having the same kind of disease. So, but that's what God gave me, so I dealt with it the best way I can. And really, that's the bliss of ignorance. I didn't know any better, so I thought I was just a normal kid. So, anyways, one of the questions that I wanted to address that I have been asked quite a few times lately, and that is, people thought, some of my friends thought that I already found a living kidney donor match. I did generate quite a lot of potential living kidney donors. Last year, within like 4 months, there were like 32, 33. Unfortunately, the transplant center that I was listed at, University Transplant, was so inefficient, so chaotic, disorganized, that of those 32 that I generated within like 4 months, they've only tested 2, which compelled me to transfer to Methodist Transplant Hospital. So now, after waiting 8 weeks, from December 5th to about February 5th, 2 months, I finally became officially listed with the Methodist Transplant Living Kidney Donor Program, which means that I need to regenerate more potential donors, because the donors that I have in the past, most of them lost interest or they got lost in the shuffle because I sent them directly to the University of Transplant Hospital website without capturing their information. So I have no way of accessing them. Okay? But I've learned my lesson. That's why now, instead of sending them directly to the Methodist Transplant website, I get their information first, not so much the medical, but just the contact information, so that if anything happens, I can recontact them. Okay? And here's another thing. The second misconception is that not because I have potential donors, that means, the transplant will be scheduled right away. No. It takes at least 60 to 90 days to test these donors. Each one of them. Each one. Okay? I've had 4 donors in the past, like between 2015 and 2016. 4 donors. The first 3 took 6 months to be tested. And then 1 took 12 months to be tested. That's how inefficient university is. And I'm not going to say was, because I know they're still inefficient. And that's on record. Okay? I'm hoping now that Methodist will be more efficient. And I'm going to find out more next Saturday, because there's going to be a live seminar in the hospital at Methodist, to find out more about how the process goes and how long it takes and that kind of thing. But I do know that it takes at least 60 to 90 days to test each one. That's why I keep posting to find donors. Okay? Now, not because let's say you donate, you want to donate to me, and your blood type is O or B plus, okay? Which means we're matched by blood type. Not because that's true, you automatically become a donor for me. No. You got to go through, as I went through, a battery of tests, especially health and fitness tests, to make sure that you are healthy enough, or the donor is healthy enough to live a lifetime with 1 kidney. Because if there's even a small percentage that you are not fit and you are not healthy, they will not take the risk. They will not take the risk on your life, okay? Because their priority is to make sure you, as the altruistic living kidney donor, is healthy and fit and well enough to be able to go through a lifetime with 1 kidney. Okay? So it's a tough test, It took me 2 years to really get to that level, to be able to go through a surgery, because I had some other issues. Well, not really me personally, but health-wise. It's because also the incompetence of the doctors and the nurses at university. And I mean incompetence. I was misdiagnosed with liver cirrhosis, and it took them 2 freaking years to find out that it was a false positive. They all based it on my ultrasound back in April of 2015. Okay, and I kept telling them, I do not have the profile. No, you know, I've never done drugs. I don't drink even a drop of alcohol. Okay? And the last time I drank alcohol was maybe half a champagne bottle, not even, bottle, sorry, champagne glass, sorry, back to New Year's Eve celebration. This was this was like 2014. Yeah, so 4 years, 3.5 years. Okay, and I'm not promiscuous, and you know, and really the false positive was that there was some cirrhosis on my liver that showed an ultrasound, but my hepatic panel or my blood test showed my blood tests were normal, and I didn't have signs of jaundice or yellowness or having liver problems, and I did not have. The only thing I had was, you know, I had what we call ascites or peritoneal, what do you call this, enlargement of my belly from excess fluid, but that was it, you know. So after 2 years, 2 colonoscopies, 2 CAT scans, they finally said, oh yeah, we were wrong, you know. We misdiagnosed you. You don't have liver cirrhosis. I'm like, thank you, you know, for delaying my life for 2 freaking years. You know, so I got rid of university. So I transferred to Methodist. So, but again, what I'm saying is, it is a vigorous test, both not just for me, but especially for the donors. So it takes a while. That's why I'm keeping myself as healthy, as fit, as functional, as energetic as I can. You know, even though statistically, 70% of those who started dialysis quit their job or unable to work after only 4 months in dialysis. I've already been on dialysis for, 35 months. So 3 years, April 1st. And I've been working just 2-3 weeks after my hospitalization in 2015. And people are wondering, how did I do that? How do you do that? You know, how do you live a fairly normal life? And I do live a fairly normal life. Like today, I was out most of the afternoon with my kids. I can keep up with Anton, who's very energetic. And, you know, I drive, I make a difference in my profession, in my community. I pay the bills. I have mortgage. I have, but my point is, it is possible, even with someone with end stage or 5th stage of chronic kidney disease, because I've done it, you know. But I knew it was coming, so I had the foresight to lose a lot of weight. I've lost 73 pounds now since 2010, June 18 of 2010, and I wrote a book about it, Fat to Fit Fast, which I released about 2 months ago, which I'm going to be relaunching the printed version in about 4 weeks from now, my birthday week. So that's to answer the questions of people who are wondering, why are you still promoting kidneyforjoel.com? You know, I thought you had a donor. Yes, I've had donors, but, you know, that doesn't mean that there's a match. Okay, now, also, even if we are not blood type match, meaning, let's say, for example, I'm a B+, and that's my blood type, and you're like an A or AB, so that's not a match, right? That's the the transplant surgery can still happen through the paired exchange program. And again, that's quite a long and complex process that I will have time to explain more on another live video stream. All right, so that's my update for tonight, the fourth day of the National Kidney Month. I hope you found something interesting or found something useful. And I really appreciate you tuning in. And I look forward to, connecting with you on a daily basis in the next remaining 27 days of the month. And that is it for now. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Facebook Messenger. You're all my friends. Any questions about kidney disease, kidney health, losing weight fast, keeping it for life, how do I manage to be a single father, and how do I don't know, whatever you think that I may have an input towards your question, I would gladly help you answer your questions. And if there's any challenge that you have to go through, and really my message is this, it doesn't matter what God, the universe, has given you. Okay, it's not the card that's given to you to deal with. It's how you respond to that card. It's how you respond to that blessing. I don't call it a curse. I've always appreciated the fact that even though I've had kidney problems for really 51 years now, this month, I never complained about it, and I learned how to deal with it, and I'm still dealing with it. I'm still, of course, keeping the fight. I'm persistent. I have the grit to really, and the gumption to really fight it. And it's not even a fight struggle anymore. It's just a way of life that I have to deal with for now, because I know it's not going to last forever. I know one day I'll find my kidney match, and I want to at least do it now, make a difference, relay my message, convey my story, tell my story, so that it can affect for the better even just one life. If I make a difference on one life, that's more than enough for me. And with that, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your attention. And this is Joel from kidneyforjoel.com. And if you want updates about and replays of this, you can go to my blog at kidneyforjoel.com/blog. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye-bye for now. Talk to you tomorrow.